15 furniture items that look cheap. I make these kinds of videos from time to time because a lot of you guys love them. You're gonna get mad, or if you're gonna run out and go try to buy all new things, this isn't that kind of video. This is just some food for thought. Maybe you're in the market for some new furniture. Maybe you're just curious. For so many years, I did not realize what a huge difference there can be in the quality and design of furniture. And that's why as we go through this video, you're gonna see a lot of examples from my own home. And when I say cheap, I'm not talking about price, because you can pay a lot of money for a piece of furniture and it can look cheap. On the flip side, there could be something very affordable and it could look fantastic. I also scoured the internet because I wanted to know what other people were saying looked cheap, so I've put some of that in here. You'll have to let me know what you think about the last one. I'm leaving it in here. I don't necessarily agree with it. I would love to hear what you think. So this first one, I had it for many years and I just was in a really big rush when I bought it. We had just moved into this home and I needed a kitchen table and I just quickly bought it. But the thing that looks cheap is the black fake wood. First of all, the wood is made from dried sawdust and shavings. You know, it's particle board. Then it's painted black, and black furniture will never look clean again. If you have black floors, you know this. If you have black countertops like I do, you know this. Same for black furniture. It will show every speck of dirt and dust that there might be floating around in your kitchen or in your home. Even if you just clean it, 2 seconds later, the dirt is there. And I'm gonna show you, because not only did I buy the kitchen table, I also bought the matching hutch that goes along with it. I still do have that hutch. Luckily, I've moved it into my entryway. It's not as bad, but it still gets very dirty and dusty. Speaking of particle board, the number 2 thing that could be looking cheap is when you get furniture and it comes in those flat packed boxes. And what I'm gonna add to this, because maybe you put it together and it looks nice, right? So what I'm gonna add to this is when it has that plastic veneer on the top of it and then it peels. I have 2 instances of this in my home. One of them is the vanity in my kid's bathroom. I think I thought it was painted wood, and then one day I noticed that it was peeling. And once it starts peeling, it looks pretty terrible. I also have this on my pantry, and we had the pantry built a few years ago, and in one of the doors, it's starting to peel off. It doesn't look good. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but as I go through this list, and if you have any of these items and you love them, then you keep using them. Don't listen to me. Who cares what I think? All that matters is that you love it. Okay, number 3, this one looks cheap, and it is cheap, and this is the plastic drawers. I have this, I've had it for decades now, and I kind of keep it hidden away in my closet, and I get why people have it. It's really lightweight, it's easy to store stuff. I think I started on this when I was in college, and I got it in my dorm room, and then I was like older, and I was like, well, I should get those drawers again. I just kind of hate plastic anyway. If you watch my videos, you know this, so I wouldn't buy it again, and I do think that it doesn't look the best. And also, before you say that you need to have those things because they're cheap, let me just tell you, in the last 12 months, I have gotten 2 amazing dressers off of Facebook Marketplace. Both of these I got for my son's room. The first is like kind of like a tall dresser, and it's all wood, solid wood. And then I also got a chest of drawers, and it's from Ethan Allen. I got it for $50. Now, granted, you do have to meet people and drive and pick it up and whatever, but you get really nice stuff. And I also like that it's not brand new, so I'm not adding kind of to the crap in the world, and you don't have to assemble anything. Number 4, I do not have this item anymore, but if you have it, what I'm gonna say is it's a coffee table with wobbly legs. But the problem with this wobbly table is if you don't tighten up those legs over time, it gets really wobbly. And then when people come over, they're kind of just scared to put their drink on it. They don't want to break it. Anything wobbly doesn't scream expensive or nice. Number 5 that could be kind of bringing your home down, looks a little cheap, I think, is when you have side tables next to your couch and the height of them doesn't really make sense. I'll explain what I mean. If the tabletop, and I'll see if I can find an illustration and put this up, but if the tabletop doesn't kind of align with your sofa, it just makes the room look off. So if you're sitting on the sofa and you want to put a book down or put your drink down, that table has to be at a very specific height. Otherwise, it's not functional and it doesn't look the best. And it could make the furniture look cheap even if it wasn't. If you enjoy content that helps you simplify your home and your life, I'm so glad you're here. Click the subscribe button below, it's free. The next one is furniture that is either too big or too small for your space. It could honestly go either way, and both of these on either side of the spectrum could make it look cheap, especially if you have a smaller room and then you have really bulky furniture, or if you have a smaller room and you have kind of miniature small furniture. I think what happens is a lot of people may have a small apartment or a small room that they need to furnish, and then they think to themselves, I need to get small furniture. But what's interesting, it's actually the opposite effect. When you have a small room and you put normal sized furniture in there, it actually makes the room feel larger. The next one is the overly glossy finishes. You see these sometimes. It almost looks like plastic, to be honest. I think these are very easy to scratch, and once it scratches, it doesn't look good. It could cheapen the space. I think what looks best is something, obviously real wood, and I mentioned you could get that at Facebook Marketplace or the thrift store, or something with a matte finish. Always classic. This next one I'm a little scared to say because I know a lot of people like it. And I'm just gonna say, sometimes those faux leather couches and chairs, they could end up looking cheap over time. I am not a huge fan of leather couches and sofas anyway, but what happens is if you get the faux ones, and we do have the faux ones, actually I'll show you, I'll insert some footage of this. We have the faux on our dining room chairs, and we had to cover it up because within 1 year of owning them, they started cracking and peeling everywhere. I think a good fabric sofa, even if it's not expensive, that will hold up really well, and that will look much more expensive. Okay, so moving on, we are on number 9 here. This is Unrealistic marble, and you've seen it before. They even have like the contact paper that you can put. What I think is when the marbling looks too bold, or maybe it even sometimes looks pixelated, you can tell from a mile away that it looks fake. And fake marble isn't screaming expensive. If you want the marble look, because it looks nice, and if you want to get that look on a budget, I would say look for anything that has just very subtle veining in it. That looks really nice. This next one brings me back to my first adult apartment, okay? And what it is it's the glass TV stands and the coffee tables, and or the coffee tables with chrome. Maybe you like these, and that's fine. I think for me personally, they just remind me of that time, and it was kind of like a starter apartment for us, and it just really, I don't know, I didn't love it. Okay, the next furniture item that could be looking cheap is if you have bookshelves or shelving units that bow in the middle, and maybe you've got some books on them and they just kind of bow down. When your shelves look one step away from collapsing, it's just not a good look. Instead of seeing the nice books or the decor, you're just thinking, is this shelf gonna break? Solid, sturdy shelves, maybe you can get them reinforced. That always looks better no matter what design it is. Number 12, kind of back to plastic here. I'm gonna tell you, plastic dining chairs. So these kind of look a little bit temporary to me, or I hate to even say disposable, because I kind of think of it as like lawn furniture, and I see people using that for just several years and then they throw it away. Or maybe I think of event space. I don't know, whatever it is, I'm not a fan of these plastic dining chairs. And again, I'm going to point you to the thrift store. I have found so many really good, solid wood, high quality chairs. I got one last year. I think it was like $8. I was with my mom. She ended up getting a set of 6 really nice antique chairs for like $40 at a garage sale. So just keep your eyes peeled. If you've got the plastic chairs going on and you want to replace them at some point, you don't have to, because again, we're not replacing our stuff with this video, but one day, if you're thinking you want to be in the market for some chairs, try the thrift store, try the garage sales. The next one that could be looking cheap is when you have furniture with that overly ornate kind of carved wood. You might see lots of scrolls and swirls and carvings. A lot of time, that carving is the fake pressed wood and the resin. It's trying really hard to look fancy. It could then kind of swerve the other direction and look a little bit cheap. And sometimes these even look a little bit mass produced. What I've heard as a general rule of thumb is that good craftsmanship is simple, whereas cheaper furniture often overdoes it. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is furniture that doesn't age well. And I'm gonna tell you, kind of thinking about the couch, and I'm gonna just go back to the couch. Do you guys remember there was that time when everyone was buying that I think it was from Pottery Barn, the cloud couch. And now so many people are coming out saying now that their couch hasn't held up. It's only a few years old. I think that looking cheap, you know, it's not just about how the item holds up on day one. It's about how it's looking years down the road. So really, if you've got a sofa and it's holding up its shape for years and years, it always feels more high end. So now we're on to the one that I found online. And I don't know, I'm a little torn, but I kind of just don't agree with this one. But I see it all the time, and people just swear by this rule, and they say it looks cheap. Matching bedroom sets. Tell me what you think about these. People say this kind of looks boring and flat, and maybe it looks like a furniture showroom instead of a space that you're living in. But I'm not sure that I agree, because I have both bedrooms, okay? My son's bedroom is kind of like mix and match furniture. We've gotten a lot of it from Facebook Marketplace. Some of it we got from the furniture store. But then my bedroom is a matching set. My daughter's bedroom is a matching set. And I just think that my bedroom looks better and my daughter's bedroom looks better than my son's. It could be because my sons don't keep it the cleanest, but I don't think so. Maybe it's just me. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that one. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I will link that here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.